Thanks for tuning in and welcome back to the shop. This is our 2013 Mitsubishi Fuso FG that is still refusing to start. There are a lot of things that I have checked and corrected over the last couple of episodes, including putting all new DEF in the tank, replacing sensors in the exhaust. I've swapped in my spare fuel pump to see if it was related to the lift pump supply volume or pressure. I've verified a number of circuits in the SAM module are providing power to their computers. And I've confirmed that the oil pressure and temperature switches are not faulty. This isn't leaving me with a whole bunch of options, but I've got a couple more things to check today. Number one, do I actually have power going to the injectors telling them to fire? Let's start with that.
To access the injectors, we need to remove this plastic cover, which is held on with 4 bolts.
Next, I'm going to disconnect the electrical harness from one of the injectors. It doesn't matter which one, I just want to see if there's a pulse signal going to any of the injectors.
To disconnect it, simply push down on the tab and pull the connector apart.
The injector harness is just 2 wires per injector, which is power and ground. Now, you would think with 2 wires it's pretty easy to measure if we've got power and ground there, but the width of the pulse is so narrow it's hard to capture with a voltmeter. But if you can find yourself an LED that operates on 12 volts, or 24 if your truck is 24, we should be able to see the pulse. If you're worried about not having a matching plug, don't worry. As long as you've got some decent ends on, I've just tinned the ends of these wires with some solder. Bend this back a little bit, you can see which one is positive. That has a red stripe. For me, that's the green one. Just slip the wire in gently and slip the negative in. And that should give us enough connection to get a signal. So we got the fuel pump running, we got the LED plugged in, and we're going to try cranking. I can't actually see the LED at the same time as cranking, so I can come back to the camera and check it after. You're going to know before me. Do we have injector pulse?
Yep.
Does that seem strange to you?
So it looks like signal to the injectors is not the problem. I am going to check all 4 just to be sure we don't have 1 or 2 that are firing, but I don't think this is an injector firing issue. And that kind of makes sense because if it was an injector firing issue, we should be getting a code. And as you know from the previous videos, I have all the codes cleared except for creep mode, which should not prevent the engine from starting.
As a final step, I'm confirming that each of the injectors are receiving a voltage signal, 1 injector at a time, using the same method.
Didn't really think that through before I filmed that, did I? I just did a time lapse that occurs on a 5-second interval to try and capture lights flashing that are a fraction of a second each. But I was able to stick my head around the corner just enough while I was cranking to see that all 4 injectors do have pulse, which, though fortunate, I think is very unfortunate because the next step am I staring down the barrel of a CP4 injection pump failure? I don't think I want to know, but let's find out. On the top of the fuel pump, there's a solenoid and there are 2 screws that hold it in. I'm led to believe that if we remove these 2 screws and find lots of metal particles in the screen, the pump is cooked along with the rest of the fuel system.
I'll start by unplugging the electrical connector and then removing the 2 Torx bolts. With the bolts removed and a bit of wiggling, it comes right out.
Well, I'm not seeing like a fine metal particle dust, but there's definitely some debris in here, and I can't quite tell if that's chunks of rust or dirt. But either way, that shouldn't be in there.
Looking at the screen, I'm not seeing any damage or debris on the outside. Could I be lucky enough that it actually all stopped here? This is a brand new, fresh out of the package magnet. Because the pump housing is aluminum, I can stick it in the hole and see if the debris is steel without the magnet sticking to the housing. If the debris sticks to the magnet and comes out, it's steel, and it's likely that the high pressure pump is toast. And now we have confirmation.
Well, that's not good.
Oh, I was really hoping to find something other than this. So what does all this mean? Well,
The reality is, it doesn't matter where that debris came from, it's in the fuel system and it shouldn't be there. And realistically, this means that the entire fuel system needs to come apart to make sure there's none left in the fuel system. I need to know there's nothing left in the tank that could get sucked up again. I need to know there's no debris in the filter that could make it through. The fuel pump likely needs to be replaced or rebuilt. The fuel lines, the fuel rail, and all 4 injectors. This is not by any means going to be a small or simple job. So my next step really is going to be chasing down pieces so that I can tear this apart and put it back together. And while I wait for those parts, I'll get back to building the interior. Now I will say this, although I do not consider it a lucky thing to have happen, it couldn't have happened in a more lucky place. I broke down inside my own shop, not even in the driveway, inside. Not in the middle of nowhere.
Oh man, we're screwed.
Where we could have ended up having to walk out of somewhere, not be able to get a tow truck, be hundreds of miles from a place that had tools. So am I glad that it happened? No. But am I glad that it happened here? Absolutely. So as bad as it is, it could have been far, far worse. Everything is repairable, it just takes time and money. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.